This is a Walther LGR 10-metre air rifle, match rifle, made around 1980. This is the one with the adjustable cheek piece and the built-in sight razors. When it was designed and originally came out, it held world records at 10 metres. It is an excellent, it's a prince of rifles. It's a single stroke pneumatic. That cocks the mechanism, that compresses the air, and then it's fired. But most of the time that's exactly what it does, but occasionally it only releases half of the air charge and the pellet comes out much too slow, too low, and leaves half the charge in, which is released when you try and cock it next time. I suspect the hammer is not hitting the valve properly, so we'll take it apart and see what's going on inside. Just cock this to get the hammer out of the way, but I'll pull the lever up, let the air out, so I can put the lever back. Pull this circlip out. Get the shaft out. And the rocker. Two screws. Now to get to the valve, get a piece of pipe, cut some pieces out to make two teeth which fit the slots in the valve. That's the valve collar. Now before this valve will lift out, there's a screw on the outside, a little grub screw with a extension which locks into a groove in the valve and stops it from rotating, so that needs to be pulled out. Half dozen turns. And then the valve should lift out. There's the valve. There should be a little cap on the end, but that seal looks in good condition. So we'll clean that all up and put it back together again. It's actually quite filthy inside the valve housing. I'll try a little petrol and some cotton buds. That's pretty dirty. When the valve goes back, there's a slot here which has to line up with the screw. So if you get it roughly in the right place, and be prepared to jiggle it around a bit. And tighten the screw gently. Until you feel the screw go nicely into the slot. Just leave that loose while we put the cap back on. The screw collar. But we made a special tool. So there. Just snug it up. It's sitting against that yellow seal, so we don't want to overdo it, and just tweak this up as well. This is my degreaser of choice. Lighter fluid. It's compatible with the lubricant I'm going to use anyway. A fair amount of solid matter and brown gunge. I'm going to use dry slide. It's very difficult to get hold of now, if not impossible. I've had this for years. It's a mixture of molybdenum disulfide and some sort of spirit, petroleum spirit, which I'll just put in all of these bearing points. When it dries, it'll just leave the moly behind. Okay, that's got it in place. Draw back the lever to cop against the spring. Push the valve in to let the air through, so we can fold him up neatly. Get it the right way up. I've already cleaned all this out as best I can. Get that in position. And put the screws back. See, this has to be out of the way in order to get to this screw. We can then put the rocker back in. We get the marks on it. That's the part nearest the piston. Shaft back in. and then circle it back in place.